There are people who say that the scientific method is humankind's greatest achievement, and I certainly agree with that. Now, in the 1920s, the big debate was whether the universe was static or expanding. And in the late 1920s, Edwin Hubble used the Hooker telescope, at that stage the most advanced telescope in the world. He used that particular telescope to observe for the very first time that the universe was expanding. Now, it didn't just become a scientific fact that the universe is expanding because Edwin Hubble said so. No. It first had to be verified by other astronomers. They also had to observe the same thing. They also had to come to the same results than that what Hubble did before it became a scientific fact. Now, it is this peer review system that is argued that it is humankind's greatest achievement. But it didn't stop there. Astronomers verified his observation that the universe is expanding, and then physicists joined the conversation, and they argued that if the universe is expanding, then it must have been closely knitted together at some stage in the past. And if that is the case, there must have been something like the Big Bang. Physicists also argued that if there was a Big Bang, we should be able to observe the cosmic microwave background, or also called the dying heat of the Big Bang. And what they did is they went searching for it. And it was actually detected for the first time in 1965. Physicists also argued that if there was a Big Bang, matter and antimatter should have been produced in equal measure. And the question was asked, why do we only see matter, not antimatter? So the big sort of search for antimatter started. That is why CERN was built. Scientists like Higgs, for instance, argued that there should be some sort of a field that we should be able to observe. This has now become known as Higgs field, the Higgs boson, the Higgs particle that they're looking at for at CERN. And I do understand that certain discoveries have been made at CERN that at least shows the scientists that they are on the right track. But it is early days. So, but the big question for today's video is this. The scientific method, the humankind's greatest achievement, has that ever been used to observe the supernatural? Are scientists even looking for the supernatural? Now, I know that there is a group that call themselves Intelligent Design, and they complain that scientists are not even looking for the supernatural. Now, just to describe Intelligent Design, they are a bunch, they claim to be scientists, and what they say is, look, we are scientists, and even though we agree that evolution has taken place, and even though we agree with the time estimates, the estimates of the age of the universe, of Earth, etc., we look at complex organisms and we fail to see, like the eye, for instance, a complex organism like the eye. We look at the complex organism like the eye and we fail to see how evolution explains such a complex organism like the eye. Now, I've read a lot of literature from Intelligent Design, and where I was hoping to get more detail than this vague statement, I was very much disappointed. They don't even discuss, for instance, that they are experts in the field of the eye, in the field of sight, and they don't even discuss where in the 500 million years evolution of sight, where this now breaks down, where they can't understand. But in any event, so intelligent design says, because evolution doesn't explain complex organisms like the eye, therefore there must have been an intelligent designer behind the eye. Now, once again, if you start looking for what precisely they say about this intelligent designer, you will be very much disappointed, because they say nothing about it. So it's just a vague statement, really. But they complain, intelligent design, they complain that science are not even looking for the supernatural. Now, it's a bit laughable, because they claim to be scientists, and my question is, intelligent design, you are scientists, why don't you look for the supernatural? I don't understand your complaint. Now, the problem for intelligent design, or any scientist or anybody who wants to look for the supernatural, is, where do you start? Because, and this is now just scientific fact, that there's not even a hint of evidence anywhere in the universe for the supernatural. It is not like you can observe the universe expanding and then sort of reason there must be a Big Bang, and therefore there must be this dying heat of the Big Bang, that antimatter and matter was produced in equal measure, and now you start looking for antimatter. The problem with the supernatural is there's not even a hint of evidence anywhere in the universe, for it. And where do you now start searching for the supernatural? So my sympathy to intelligent design, who just complains that other scientists are not looking for it. But so the argument is this: in this question, whether God exists or not, the argument is not that because there's a complete lack of evidence for the supernatural that God doesn't exist. That is not quite the argument. The argument is that because there is a complete lack of evidence, even a hint of evidence for any form of the supernatural, that is a factor in consideration on this question whether God exists or not.